Hey everybody, it's Deanna Phillips, Realtor here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I just wanted to talk about the process of We Found the One. So, we've been out looking, and you've got your pre-qualification or your pre-approval, and we find the one. It meets all the boxes, all the criteria. You're super excited. What's next? So here, I'm going to try to break this down. It's maybe going to be in a couple of stages because this can be really overwhelming when we sit down and talk. And I understand that. And I want to make sure that you understand the process and you know what to expect. So, the next step of the process is to actually write a formal offer. So, in the state of Michigan, no verbal offers are binding. So, we put it in writing. And we currently have a 6-page contract. And that contract has a lot of boilerplate information in it and a lot of boxes we have to fill in. And so that takes just a little bit of time, maybe an hour, hour and a half, to kind of compile it, review it, make sure we didn't miss anything. And that's going to discuss the things such as your price that you're offering, when you want to have possession to the property, if you're going to want immediate possession, your time frame for closing. It's going to talk to the seller through that document about who you're using for your lender. It's also going to review how much money you're putting down for earnest deposit. And if you're not familiar with that, I'm going to do another video to explain that. And basically, that contract is written and presented to the listing agent to then present to the seller. So we provide your pre-qualification or your pre-approval with your offer. And we, ahead of time, may have gotten some other information. So hopefully we've gotten the seller's disclosures. You've signed those and reviewed those. We're going to be submitting that as well. And I'll go over in another video what a seller's disclosure is. And the lead-based paint, which is a federally mandated document that we have to provide, showing that homes that were built before 1977 may have lead-based paint. And what does the seller know about that? So we'll compile this offer in a nice little package, send it over to the listing agent. They'll review it, and then they're going to present it to their seller. And 3 things can happen at that point. They may not respond at all, which we haven't really seen in quite some time based on this market. They'll counter, which means something in the contract they needed to tweak or change. Maybe it was price, maybe it was possession time, maybe they wanted more earnest deposit. It's not always just price. And the third thing that they can do is just accept it as written, which we love, but it, doesn't always happen that way. So once all parties have agreed and a final signature is put to the paper, then the buyer, you the buyer, have 10 days to do your inspections. And that first day starts the minute that document is signed by the seller and agreed to, or you have signed and agreed to their counter. So if that happens at 11 o'clock at night, that's day 1. And weekends count. But don't worry, we have lots of contractors that we get to work with that are great, that get out there and get the job done for you, and they're going to want you to meet with them as well. So again, another topic I'm going to break down in more detail. But that's the basis of starting your offer process. I would sit down, write the agreement for you, you would review it, sign it, and then we would send it over to the listing agent to review and present to their seller. And then we would expect either an acceptance or a counter or maybe some clarification questions. And any of those 3 is good because that way we know that they're at least considering your offer. So again, if you have questions on this process, if you're working with me, I'm going to have already gone over it with you. If you're working with somebody else, hopefully they've gone over it with you because you really need to understand the process of what you're doing so that it's less stressful. No matter what, when you make an offer, it's a very exciting time and sometimes can be a little bit anxious too because we're on a waiting game. We're just waiting for them to respond. And Unfortunately, we just kind of have to sit back and wait. Not all sellers get back right away. Maybe maybe they have other offers they're considering. So you always have to go into it with your best foot forward and hope, that yours can beat out anybody else. And there's strategies that we can put into play to make yours the most appealing. And so if you want to discuss that with me, hit me up privately. You can call me 269-492-8505 if you're not working with another realtor. Or you can go to my website and fill out a contact form, and I'd be happy to talk with you. And if you're looking for somebody to work with, give me a shout. I'd love to talk to you, meet with you, and make sure that you thoroughly understand this process, because it is one of the biggest purchases you're going to make in your lifetime. And I want to make sure that you understand it, that you're well informed, and that you're comfortable. So make it a great day and enjoy the week.